thought I would show you what I'm weaving on my rigid heddle loom. It's very narrow on the 60 centimeter loom, which I've got sitting on the floor at the moment. I've just ordered a stand for it. I can't find it really difficult to weave on it propped against a table, and lately I've been putting it on the floor and weaving, which is not ideal. It's not great for my back, neck, what else. So I've caved and I've ordered a stand, which hopefully should be here in a couple of days. I've got it warped up with this hand spun, this is what I've got left of it, and I have been popping little bits of the hand spun in it as well. And I'm weaving with this, I really don't know what it is. It's a wool, it's 100% wool. It is so soft and it has like a hand spun appearance. I've got a feeling it's from, and it's got some veg matter in it, I've got a feeling that it's from the Great Ocean Road mill from a few years ago. I ordered like a sample pack, and I think this was one of the yarns that was in that. So yeah, that's coming along. Just got a little bit more to go, and then I can get that off and give it a wash. The other thing I wanted to show you, I've got this yarn in my stash, which I got, I'll tip it out. I got it at Vogue Knitting Live, January 2020, and I saw a sample in their booth of it knit, and I've got it here. This is what the sample looks like hanging up in their booth, and it's the Okapi or Okapi, and it's by Judy Bryan, who I'm pretty sure is actually an Australian designer. Yes, it's Okapi, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but now I look at it again, I absolutely loved this when I saw it, and I just bought the exact yarn for it, but I haven't knit it, and it's like, 3 years on, and I sort of thought, oh, why haven't I knit it? And I'm not sure it's for me, how much wear I would actually get out of it. And I was just thinking today, like my yarn stash is overflowing. I really have to get through some yarn. So I pulled this out, and I thought I might even wind it up and make a warp for the Sowry loom, and then also weave with it and make a jacket, which I think would look absolutely stunning. But then when I pull this pattern out, I mean, I love this as well. I think it would make a great, like a sloppy Joe, a sweatshirt sort of thing, just to throw on at the weekend, nice and cozy. Yeah, I don't know. If you've got any ideas, just pop them in the comments down below. But do I knit up the Okapi, or do I use it on my loom and make some kind of jacket? I'm thinking jacket from it if I do weave it. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Good morning, everyone. It's funny, I was sitting here before and I had my coffee, and I was thinking, oh, if I just said good morning and thank you for joining me for coffee, I would sound like Barbara from the Flame and Fibre podcast. And it was something I wanted to talk about today. I thought, because I watch a lot of YouTube knitting and other videos, I thought I'd just share some of them that I watch that are not the mainstream knitting videos that everybody watches. And I wasn't going to start with Barbara, but having the coffee this morning reminded me. So Barbara lives in Pennsylvania. She is a knitter. She does a bit of crochet, a bit of watercolor. but she started, I think she used to have a monthly podcast vlog on YouTube, but then when lockdown started, Barbara started vlogging every day, and she hasn't stopped because COVID is still a part of a lot of people's lives. And I think she started, it was a way of connecting with people, and she said it really helped her mental health, having someone to talk to every day and to share those little snippets of her life. So she hasn't missed many days. She has missed some here and there. You know, so much has happened in that time in her life. Her daughter got married. Her son and his family moved closer to where she now lives, to where she lives, sorry. Her father-in-law passed away. Her mother-in-law has now come to live with them. Yeah, it's just those everyday little things that happen in people's lives. And it's really interesting because she does live in Pennsylvania. It's such a different part of the world to what I live in. And like, I look out my window, it's sunny or it's raining or it's windy. I don't have snow. I don't have trees that lose their leaves. And seeing all that in Barbara's backyard as the year goes on, or now it's like into the third year, it's been really interesting. And her husband does a lot of cooking, and just listening to what he's cooking, it's sort of like different sort of foods. And yeah, it's been quite interesting. I haven't watched every single one. She's up to over 1,000 episodes now. Some of them go for 5 minutes, some might go for half an hour. But yeah, so that's just one I wanted to share with you today. Barbara from Flame and Fiber, and it's fiber spelt in the US way, F-I-B-E-R. So you can check her out. If I remember, I will try and mention somebody that I find interesting anyway. I'll try and do that every week or so. And they'll just be not necessarily knitting either. I watch a bit of other stuff too. So I'm wearing my Lycoris again. I love this because it's a linen merino. It is not tight fitting. I can throw it in the washing machine, hang it on the clothesline. So it's just really great. This week I've been working on my Luella dress for the Go Big or Go Home make along. It's being run by Julia and Kathy, who are also known as 9 Crafty 11 with the actual numerals, and Whatnot, which is WHOT KNOT, over on Instagram. So they're having a make along. I think it runs till the end of March. Will I get finished? Probably not. This coming weekend I will be away for 3 days, and it's unlikely I might get a little bit of knitting done. We are driving. I might get a bit of knitting done in the car, but I'm up to some increasing on the skirt section, which I've got to keep track of, and I'm up to some beading on the sleeves. So the sleeves, you might remember, I was going to do the 3/4 sleeve, and I was sort of erring on the side of I wasn't going to do any of the lace trim or the beads. But the body, I'll grab it out in a sec. The body has lace like this around the yoke, but it also has beads, and it has a beaded lace hem. The rest of the body is all stockinette, so it's quite plain. And I was just thinking, like, the sleeve with the lace trim would sort of break up all that stockinette stitch. It's sort of, you know, halfway across my body, just something a bit of interest for the viewer. It's also making it interesting for me to knit as well. I'm sort of like going between skirt and sleeve at the moment, depending on the light. So during the day I've been doing some of the beading on the sleeve, and then in the evening when the light's not as good, I've just been working on the skirt. So I'll just stand back a bit. And I'll show you the sleeve first. So that's where I'm up to on the sleeve. I think I've done, I don't know, a dozen or so rows. I've got about 40 to go. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So that's how that, I'm sort of hoping it'll come down to about here when it's blocked. And the body, it does have some waist shaping where it's come in, and now I'm doing some increasing out. It's probably down to about, down past my hip, sort of, you know, mid bum. So it's getting there slowly. The problem now though is that there are more stitches to get around, so each row is taking a bit longer. But that's the yoke, the sleeve, and just, yeah, stockinette and stockinette and stockinette for the body. So that's coming on. Down here on the floor next to me, I've got that yarn that I showed you in the video. I'm so tempted to cast on for the jumper, the sweater, whatever you want to call it. But let me know what you think. If you think this is sort of a bit much, or whether I should just weave a jacket. I do like the look of the jumper. So these yarns are, they call them inverted colorway yarns. So you can see, I don't know whether you can see with these two. One is like black dark charcoal with the beigey colour, and it's sort of the reverse. So they're called yin and yang. And this one's called Kiss, and it's pink, and then it's plied with the beige. And I'm pretty sure that there's one which is the inverse of this, which is the beige, like this, but with the pink instead of the black. I should have looked it up to see what the name is. But yeah, that one's called Kiss. So, and they're lovely and soft. They're extra fine merino, 100% extra fine merino. So gorgeous. But I really want to try and see if I can get that dress finished. Just a personal challenge, whether or not I do wear it to the wedding, which is on at the beginning of April. But yeah, just see how much I can get done. So that's mostly what I've been working on. I have been doing some weaving, and I've taken the first scarf off the loom and I gave it a wash yesterday. I've still got purple warp on the loom. I think it was about I don't know whether it was a 6 meter warp or a 12 meter warp, but I'm just going to sort of weave about 2 meter lengths for scarves, and then I'll see what's left at the end, whether it's just, you know, a table runner or something. But I'm so happy with how this turned out. It is, I've been trying to weave, so I've got more drape for scarves, and yeah, I was just so happy with this one. It's just got such a beautiful drape, and you can even see how fine it is. So it's quite long. It's just over 2 meters, I think. It's wider than my wingspan, but I'm tempted to keep this one for myself. But yeah, so I was really happy with that, and hopefully I'll get a couple more purple scarves off, so they'll be for the craft fair later in the year. So yeah. The other thing, I don't know, I know a lot of people watch Fruity Knitting podcast, and it's just worked out, I don't know whether, I'll start again. Fruity Knitting, this week they interviewed Sue Matten from the Mercery. I think it's the mercery.co.uk, and she's a crochet designer. And I don't know whether, because Sue knew that her episode was coming up on Fruity Knitting, that she was posting more on Instagram or whether I saw an ad, but I came across Sue and the Mercery sometime last week, and I'm not a crocheter. I can crochet, I dabble a bit, but I just look in awe at some of the crocheted garments and crocheted Afghans, and Sue has got some beautiful patterns, and she runs online courses, and she has one called, I think the one I saw was called the Wallflower, and it's absolutely gorgeous, but I just thought that is way beyond my skill level. And I noticed she's got one called Homage to the Granny Square, and I have signed up. I'm signed up for that. The course will start sort of in a few months' time. But then I found out, which I wish I'd sort of found out before, but anyway, then I found out if you sign up to her newsletter, you get access for free to this other online course, which is called Crojo Retro. And I'll pop a picture up here that I've taken a screenshot of her website, her blog, I think, talking about Crojo Retro, which is a blanket. I'm not sure of the size. And it's made up of crocheted flowers and these fern-like leaf motifs, and yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. So I've got a lot of the, I'm using the Bendigo Woolen Mills Luxury for my temperature throw, but I do have a lot of the Bendigo Woolen Mills Classic, which is this one here, which I use for when I'm doing charity knitting for ACWAC, which is Australians Knitting for War Affected Children. So each year there's a shipment that goes over to Syria for the displaced persons camps. And it started a few years ago when I first became involved, and we were just basically knitting jumpers and socks and mittens, hats and stuff for the kids. But it's grown a lot since then, and there is, so much work being done by so many people to support those orphans and displaced kids over in Syria. But anyway, this is a good, it's pure wool, it's reasonably priced. It's about $14-15 for a 200 gram ball, and it's machine washable, fabulous range of colours, perfect for kids wear. But it's a crepe yarn, which is not my favourite to knit with, and it's not my favourite for myself personally to wear. So I do have quite a stash of this in various colours. So I thought this would be great to try to make the Crojo Retro. I did have to order another green. I don't have a lot of green, so for the leaf shapes. But I did start. It's broken down into videos. I've only watched the first couple of videos, which was how to do the flower, and I have done one flower. And I'm hoping that, like, I think I have to do 36 of these. So I'm hoping by the time I get to, 36, I might have to start again. I think my tension's not great, but we'll see. I'll make it work. So that's my first flower. And what I've decided to do is do it like a assembly line. So I'm just doing these sections at the moment. So I think there's 36 flowers. I've probably got 9 colours of flowers, sort of suitable colours. So I'm doing about 4 in each colour. And I can tell they're different already. Oops, dropping them everywhere. So some of them, the hole in the centre is quite large. So yeah, I've just started grab a ball of yarn and make my 4 little centers. So once I get all 36 centers done, then I'll do the second color. So yeah, that's going to take a while. It's just something when I want to break from knitting on my dress, just pull this out. So I'll just work through all the flowers, and yeah, hopefully by the time the other course starts, the Granny Square course, I'll have a better, my tension will be better, and I'll be more in the flow of crochet. But Sue goes through, she did a little bit on the Fruity Knitting podcast, if you want to go and have a look. She goes through colour work exercises and choosing the colours. If you look at the Wallflower blanket, which is also one of her courses, I think it starts in May, the colours are just magnificent. And she talks about her inspiration for that, and using dark colours in the background, like, you know, almost blacks, dark greys, dark browns, and how that affects the light, and as in, like, the centre flowers look like they're just glowing in light because of the background colour. So it's quite fascinating when she talks about the colours, and I'm looking forward to going through those colour exercises with her, just to sort of, like, I've done some before, some colour theory classes, but just to get her take on it and just see what colours I come up with for the other Granny Square blanket that I'll be making later on. So yeah, I'm just going to continue with my Luella dress. At least I can see some progress now. Hopefully next time I chat to you, I should have that one sleeve done. Should be working on the second sleeve, and hopefully we'll have a lot more of the skirt done. I don't know if there'll be a video next week. As I said, I'm going away, so it might be a couple of weeks before I chat to you again. Hoping to get some more weaving done. I did get some labels I ordered on Etsy, and I can't, if I remember and you're interested, I can let you know the shop. I think it might have been Little Design Studio. That rings a bell. But they're just like a suede type label, and I'm going to sew those onto the weavings. So yeah, so I've got that. Yeah, I think that's it. I know, like in some of the previous videos I've done, I have talked about patterns, and I've done some new cast-ons, and then you don't see them again. Anything I've cast on is still there. It's just got pushed into the background for whatever reason. But if there's something I've mentioned, you're thinking, hey, whatever happened to that? Or did you ever cast that on? Or what happened to that yarn? Did you change your mind? Whatever. Just let me know. Temperature blanket's still going. I added another square to the mitered square blanket. So, you know, I do other little things during the week that you may not see, because it's like, you know, a couple of rows here and there. But yeah, if there's anything you're sort of wondering, whatever happened to that, just let me know. But also, I'm curious what you think I should do with this. I'm really tempted to cast on for the jumper, but if you think, oh no, that's going to look disgusting on you, or you think the jacket's a better option, or you think, oh, you've come up with something else, let me know. I'm really tempted to cast on, because that would probably be great car knitting next weekend. But I do have my Stevie. I could take that in the car and finish that, because that's just stockinette. So I'll put this away so I can't see it, but let me know what you think I should do with it. Go and check out Barbara on Flame and Fibre podcast if you're interested in having a sticky beak into someone else's day. And yeah, hope you're all well. Hope you all get to do some crafting. Take care, everyone, and I'll have a chat to you next time. Bye.